My child, draw near and listen with the deepest part of your spirit, for a season of testing is upon you. The air is shifting, and on the wind are the footsteps of two who are coming to you. They do not walk with ordinary purpose. They travel from a place of perceived authority, carrying with them the weight and seal of a system that believes it has the right to measure you, to define you, and to pass judgment upon your character. Do not let your heart tremble, for this warning is not meant to sow fear, but to arm you with foresight. I am with you. My presence is a shield around you, a fortress that human eyes cannot perceive and worldly instruments cannot detect. The encounter that approaches is not merely a meeting of people. It is a convergence of forces. What they bring is more than flesh and blood. It is a spiritual pressure designed to test the very foundations of your soul. They will carry with them the sharp tools of misunderstanding, the heavy cloak of judgment, and the subtle poison of temptation. Their mission, though they may not fully comprehend it themselves, is to probe your mind, to find the cracks in your resolve, and to plant seeds of doubt, anxiety, and confusion. They will speak words that sound reasonable. Their counsel will be wrapped in the language of righteousness, and their concerns will appear genuine. But you must understand the true design behind this encounter. It is a divine crucible, a moment arranged to reveal the depth of your trust in me and the steadfastness of your heart when confronted with a challenge that seems to have power over you. You must grasp this essential truth, my child. Your journey in this moment is not about escape, but about elevation. It is not about running from a physical threat, but about rising above a spiritual one. It is an exercise in profound discernment, a call to distinguish between the surface appearance of things and the deeper spiritual currents that flow beneath. These individuals, adorned with the garments of authority, are themselves instruments. They carry a burden of judgment that is not theirs to distribute, acting within a worldly system that cannot fathom the vast and intricate tapestry of my plan for your life. And yet, even in their ignorance, they will serve a holy purpose. In their attempts to influence you, to mold you into a shape that the world finds acceptable, they will inadvertently reveal the extraordinary courage I have placed within you. Their pressure will unveil the unshakable strength of your faith, and their confusion will highlight the brilliant clarity of your vision, a vision I have given you. Yes, their very presence, their misguided intentions, will become a backdrop against which the light I have ignited in your soul will shine with undeniable brilliance. Therefore, do not despise this challenge. See it for what it is, a mirror reflecting the destiny I have written for you, a confirmation of the high calling that rests upon your life. Hear me with all your being. These are not ordinary moments. They are sacred and heavy with consequence. Every step you take, every word you speak, every silent glance that passes between you and these approaching figures will carry spiritual weight. You are standing at a crossroads, a consecrated testing ground. The decisions you make here will send ripples not just through the coming days, but across the entire landscape of your life. Before you will lie many paths. Some will look easy, paved with compromise and the promise of immediate relief. Others will seem logical, appealing to human reason and the desire to avoid a conflict. But only one path leads to the safety that I define, a safety not of the body, but of the soul. This true path is not paved with avoidance or fear. It is paved with divine wisdom, radical obedience to my voice, and a piercing clarity that cuts through all deception. And so, I command you to run. But listen carefully to what this means. You are not to run from people, for they are but vessels. You are to run from what they represent, the intricate snares of pride that would tempt you to defend yourself with arrogance. The subtle web of manipulation that would coerce you into betraying your convictions. The poison of false counsel that would lead you away from my truth. And the slow, insidious erosion of your integrity. Run from these things, and in doing so, run directly into my arms. For in me, you will discover the fortress that can never be shaken, the sanctuary that can never be breached. Know this, my child, for it is a crucial piece of this puzzle. The most ferocious assault will not come from them, but from within you. As they present their case, as they lay their judgments before you, there will be moments when your own mind conspires against you. It will whisper questions. Are they right? Am I wrong? Is it not easier to simply agree? Your own heart will feel the immense weight of uncertainty, and you will be tempted to listen to these internal voices, to reason your way to a compromise, to soften the sharp edges of your resolve for the sake of peace. You must not. Recognize these whispers for what they are. They are not the voice of humility or weakness. They are the seductive echoes of distraction, attempting to lure you from the high and narrow path I have set before you. In these moments, you must stand firm, not in your own strength, but in the conscious awareness of my presence. Let the light I have placed within you, the light of my truth and my spirit, blaze so brightly that it consumes the approaching shadows. For the light I give is not common light. It is the light of clarity. It is the light of profound understanding. It is the power to see through deception long before it can wrap its tendrils around your heart. I will reveal to you now, my child, the specific nature of the trials that await you. Be prepared. There will be words carefully chosen and expertly delivered, designed to wound your spirit. There will be accusations disguised as loving counsel, criticisms presented as helpful observations. There will be temptations cloaked in the guise of magnificent opportunities, offering you worldly advancement at the cost of your spiritual alignment. They will seek to touch your reputation, to smear the good name you have built through righteous living. They will try to reshape your character according to their own flawed and worldly standards, standards you are not called to meet. Do not yield an inch. Every time they speak, every time they act, practice the holy discipline of discernment. First, consider the source. Then, look deeper and discern the heart behind the actions. Finally, respond not with the heat of haste or the chill of fear, but with the calm, quiet authority that flows directly from me. Your true strength is not in the cleverness of your arguments or the force of your will. Your strength lies in your unwavering alignment with me. When you walk in lockstep with my spirit, no force on earth or in heaven can truly harm the essence of what I have consecrated. Your soul, your mind, and your spirit are under my sovereign protection. Though your flesh may feel the intense pressure, and your emotions may churn and swell like 𝐆𝐿𝐃 𝐒𝐾, the core of who you are remains untouched, held safely in my hand. You must also understand the deeper reason why these people are coming to you now. Their arrival is not random. It is not a matter of unfortunate coincidence. In ways you cannot yet see, they have been drawn to you by the very potential I have placed within your soul. They are drawn to the light that radiates from you, a light that unsettles them even if they cannot name its source. The potential for greatness, for holiness, for a life that defies worldly logic. This is what has mocked you, and this is what brings the test. And this, my child, is why the urgency is so great. You must act swiftly, moving with decisiveness and without hesitation, because the window of perfect clarity I am giving you now will not remain open indefinitely. The longer you linger in indecision, the more entangled the snare becomes. The more you entertain their arguments, the more difficult it becomes to discern the pure truth from the sophisticated lie. Trust your spiritual instincts, yes, for I have sharpened them for this very hour. But trust me even more. I will guide your every step with a precision that surpasses all human logic and understanding. When you move in perfect accordance with my direction, when your every action is an act of obedience, no force on this earth can steer you into error or trap you in a cage of their making. Therefore, prepare yourself now, my child. Prepare spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Arm yourself, not with the weapons of this world, neither with anger, manipulation, or defensive pride, but with the divine armor forged in righteousness, in faith, and in an unshakable, childlike trust in my overarching plan. Let your mind be sharp and discerning, but let your heart remain tender and instantly responsive to my guidance. There will be moments when the temptation to act out of raw anger or visceral fear will be immense. The instinct to retaliate, to strike back with words as sharp as theirs, will rise within you like a tidal wave. Do not yield to it. You must temper your every action with my wisdom, for every word spoken in haste can create echoes you cannot undo, closing doors that I intended to keep open. Walk with a quiet and deliberate purpose. Walk with clarity. Walk with the profound calmness that comes from knowing, deep within your bones, that I am orchestrating all things for your ultimate good and my ultimate glory, even when the path before you seems treacherous and filled with shadows. Remember, my child, that every trial is a vessel for revelation. Every moment of intense pressure is an opportunity for unparalleled insight. As they approach and as they speak, they will, without meaning to, reveal truths that have long been hidden. They will expose motives that were cleverly masked and intentions that were cloaked in respectable appearances. Watch them closely. Listen not just to their words, but to the spirit behind their words. Do not be distracted by the masks of authority they wear, nor by the titles they wield. True understanding, the kind that leads to safety, comes from discerning the spirit behind the face, the true intention behind the polished words, and the state of the heart behind the confident actions. Let your spiritual eyes see beyond the fragile surface of their presentation, and let your spirit recognize what is genuine and what is a counterfeit. In this discernment, you will find your safety. In this wisdom, you will discover your freedom. You must also understand, my child, that the flight I speak of is no ordinary running. It is a sacred movement, a holy navigation through the invisible currents of spiritual influence that surround you. You are not fleeing in a state of panic or cowardice. You are moving with divine alignment, stepping in time with the rhythm of my will. Every single step you take in the direction I point is a powerful declaration to the seen and unseen realms. It is a statement that you will not be manipulated. You will not be coerced. You will not allow the sacred essence of who I have made you to be compromised for comfort or convenience. The ground on which you walk may feel unstable, and the skies above you may seem to grow dark. But know that you are being held up and supported by the unseen hand of my constant presence. Trust in that support with every fiber of your being, and do not fear the shifting shadows or the roaring winds. What appears to the world as chaos is, in fact, a carefully arranged pathway leading you toward your greater purpose. You are being refined even as you move. And my child, hear this promise. There will be allies who appear in places you do not expect. People whose presence will seem like a miraculous coincidence, whose timing will be so perfect it defies explanation, and whose actions will support you in ways the world cannot possibly comprehend. But even these allies must be discerned. Not every friendly face carries my light. Not every hand extended in help carries true, unselfish support. You must continue to practice the fine art of spiritual discernment, of reading the subtle currents of human intention and the deep undercurrents of spiritual purpose. Trust me to place the right people in your path at the precise moment of need, but also listen intently to the quiet inner voice that I have placed within you. This is the voice of truth, and it cannot be silenced by the noise of the world. This voice will be your most reliable guide, even when the world attempts to overwhelm your senses with a storm of confusion. There is another profound truth I must reveal to you. The forces that come against you, no matter how powerful or authoritative they seem, are not eternal. They are finite. They have limits, and they operate within boundaries that even they cannot cross without my permission. And that permission is not theirs to take. It is mine to grant, and I will not grant it. Every attempt to manipulate you, to control your future, to threaten your spirit will be met by the invisible, impenetrable boundaries of my sovereign will. You will feel the pressure, yes, but if you are still, you will also feel the invisible walls of my protection surrounding you. Your character, your mind, your spirit. Those things are consecrated to me, and they are protected. The more you intentionally align yourself with my will and my word, the stronger and more tangible that divine protection becomes. This is the very reason I command you to run, not as an act of cowardice, but as a strategic act of faith to position yourself in the place where my protection can work most effectively. It is a move to a place where your integrity can remain unshakable, where your heart can remain pure, and where your destiny can continue to unfold according to the glorious plan I designed for you before the foundations of the world were laid. Never underestimate the power of prayer in this season, my child. Prayer is not a mere recitation of words. It is the living, breathing channel through which you align your spirit with mine. It is the conduit through which you receive divine insight, supernatural clarity, and precise direction. Pray constantly. Let it not be a ritual but a lifeline. Let your heart speak to me with raw honesty. Let your mind lay bare all its fears, all its doubts, and all its desires before me. I am listening, and I am answering. Sometimes the answer is a sudden flash of insight. Sometimes it is a quiet peace that settles over you. Sometimes it is hidden until the precise moment you need it, but it always comes. And in that answer lies your next step, your next act of courage, your next move toward the safety and fulfillment I have promised you. The power of your prayer is immeasurable. It is the compass that will guide you through the thickest fog, the lamp that will illuminate the deepest shadows cast by those who come against you. My child, listen to me closely now, for this is a truth that transcends the limited understanding of those who walk by sight alone. There are many who will enter the orbit of your life, not to bless you, not to strengthen you, but with a conscious or unconscious mission to degrade you. They will come to belittle you, to diminish you, to reduce the magnificent brilliance I have placed within you to mere shadows of their own human expectations. These people do not act by chance. Their actions are born from a toxic mixture of their own fear, their hidden jealousy, their profound misunderstanding of the spiritual life, and the deep inclination of the fallen flesh to control, to dominate, and to diminish what it cannot produce within itself. Understand this, child. When others seek to degrade you, it is not merely a personal attack upon your personality or your accomplishments. It is a spiritual assault, an attempt to challenge the very integrity of your soul. It is a test of the steadiness of your heart, a measure of whether you will remain firmly anchored in my word or allow yourself to be tossed about by the changing winds of human opinion that blow so fiercely across the earth. Some will say things to you that are cutting, sharp, and meticulously designed to wound. They will wield their words like weapons, all the while hiding their own gaping insecurities beneath the guise of offering constructive criticism or speaking the truth in love. Their intentions may not even be fully conscious to them, but the spiritual result is the same. They aim to diminish your confidence in me, to make you doubt the purpose I have given you, to divert your focus from the eternal truth I have spoken over your life. But you must not, under any circumstances, allow their attempts to control your perception of yourself. You must understand with absolute certainty that the source of their degradation is the poverty of their own hearts, not a true reflection of your worth or your potential. Do not measure yourself by the flimsy yardstick of human judgment, for the scales of man are always flawed, always biased, always unstable. Measure yourself only by my word, my child. For my word is eternal, it is unchanging, and it is steadfast. My word cannot be swayed by the fickle opinions of others, nor can it be tarnished by the bitter criticisms of those who do not truly know me or my ways. You must also recognize that the attacks of others often serve to reveal the hidden treasures of your own life. When people attempt to degrade you, it is often because they sense, perhaps unconsciously, the potent light within you. They fear this light, for it has a way of exposing their own darkness, their own unaddressed inadequacies, and their own private failures. My child, do not be afraid of their fear. Instead, allow it to become a source of strength for you. Let it be a quiet reminder of the power and purpose that resides deep within your soul, placed there by my hand. When someone tries to diminish your value, let it be a secret signal to you that the very qualities they cannot achieve, or the virtues they refuse to possess, are becoming gloriously present within you. Rejoice quietly in this, for it is a profound confirmation that you are walking the path I have set for you, that you are living in alignment with my design, and that your integrity is shining in ways that others cannot comprehend, and therefore cannot tolerate. It is important, my child, that you understand the mechanics of degradation. Many who seek to lower others do so from a place of desperate comparison. They look at your lifa, your spiritual progress, your moral strength, your quiet joy, and they measure it against their own fears, failures, and insecurities. This act of comparison is a deadly trap, not only for them but also for any who allow it to wound their hearts. Do not fall into this trap, child. Your life is not a reflection of theirs, and your journey is not to be measured by the paths they have chosen or rejected. Your life is measured by one thing alone, your loving obedience to me. It is measured by the alignment of your actions with my word, and by the humility and love with which you carry out the responsibilities I have given you. When you stand securely in my truth, the judgments of others are rendered utterly powerless to define you. They become like arrows shot at a fortress of Sthina. They simply fall to the ground, unable to penetrate. There will be moments, my child, when the attempts to degrade you will be persistent, relentless even. Some will approach you from positions of worldly authority, using their influence, their reputation, or their power to sway public opinion or to poison the perception of your peers. Others will act in more subtle, insidious ways, through whispers, through carefully worded insinuations, or through passive aggression, hoping to slowly erode your confidence over time. Do not underestimate the cunning of these tactics. They are designed to create a fog of doubt, to make you question your own judgment, to tempt you to act outside the clear and simple guidance of my word. And yet, in every single instance, I am with you. I am the unseen hand that steadies your trembling heart. I am the quiet voice that whispers clarity when a storm of confusion rages around you. I am the constant, loving presence that reminds you of your infinite value and your divine purpose, a value and purpose that exist completely independent of the approval or condemnation of any human being. My child, remember this eternal principle. The measure of your character is not determined by the ease of your path, but by how you respond when the path becomes excruciatingly difficult. When people seek to degrade you, you are being presented with a sacred opportunity, an opportunity to demonstrate the depth of your faith, the strength of your moral compass, and the astonishing resilience of your spirit, which is my spirit in you. Many will stumble and fall when faced with such trials, allowing their wounded emotions, their defensive pride, or their consuming fear to dictate their actions. But you, my child, must rise above these base temptations. You must anchor yourself more deeply than ever before in the word I have given you, allowing it to shape your responses, to guide your choices, and to reaffirm your identity in me. To act according to my word, rather than the shifting, sinking standards of men, is to walk in righteousness. And righteousness, once it is truly embraced, cannot be shaken by the slander or disparagement of the entire world. There is a principle, my child, that you must understand deeply. Those who seek to degrade others often do so out of a desperate desire to elevate themselves. They foolishly believe that by diminishing your light, their own will shine more brightly. But this is a false elevation, a phantom promotion that is fragile, temporary, and built on a foundation of sand. True elevation, true honor comes only from me. It is bestowed upon those who live in obedience to my word and who diligently cultivate the virtues that reflect my own character: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. You must not allow yourself to be drawn into their false, competitive hierarchy, nor should you ever respond in kind. To stoop to the level of degradation is to exchange the eternal for the temporal. It is to trade the brilliant light of my truth for the fleeting shadows of human judgment. Instead, you must maintain your moral high ground. Hold your position with grace and quiet strength, for in doing so, you align yourself with that which is eternal, unchanging, and holy. Child, understand also that degradation often seeks to isolate you, to make you feel utterly alone in your trials. There will be moments when it seems as though the entire world has turned against you, when the voices of those who oppose you are the only ones you can hear, and when your own strength feels wholly insufficient to withstand the relentless assault. But in these very moments, you must turn inward and upward simultaneously. Turn inward to the unshakable knowledge of your own precious worth in my sight, and turn upward to the absolute assurance of my presence and my guidance. You are never, ever truly alone, for I am with you in every circumstance, walking beside you, strengthening you from within, and constantly reminding you of the unbreakable promises I have spoken over your life. The world may attempt to isolate you, but you are completely enveloped in my spirit, and no human effort, no matter how powerful, can ever sever that divine connection. There are also times, my child, when those who degrade you will seek to manipulate the truth itself, twisting your words, your intentions, or your actions to suit their own destructive narrative. They will take fragments of reality and skillfully spin them into instruments of judgment. This is why your discernment is so utterly crucial. You must learn to see beyond the surface performance, to understand the hidden motives of others, and to respond not in frantic defensiveness or righteous anger, but in quiet clarity and unshakable righteousness. Speak only that which aligns with my word. Let your every action be guided by pure integrity, and let your heart remain humble and steadfast before me. When you respond from this place of deep alignment with me, their false narratives crumble and lose their power over you. For truth that is anchored in my word is unassailable. Child, there is a final, glorious truth I must reveal to you. Degradation, in all its forms, cannot touch what I have consecrated. Your spirit, your purpose, and your identity in me are sanctified by my word and sealed by my spirit. No external force, no human opinion, no act of malice can alter the eternal truth of who you are in me. When you internalize this truth, when you anchor yourself in it daily, you will access a freedom that the world can never offer and can never take away. You will be liberated from the exhausting need for human validation, from the paralyzing fear of rejection, and from the immense pressure to conform to the expectations of those who do not walk in my ways. This freedom is the very foundation of your moral high ground, and it is the ultimate source of your unshakable strength. There will be moments when the degradation is so pervasive, so relentless, that it tests every fiber of your being. In these moments, you must cling with all your might to the promises I have spoken over you. Remember that I am your refuge and your fortress, your shield and your ever-present guide. Every attack, every insult, every act of belittlement is ultimately powerless against the protection, wisdom, and strength that I provide. Trust in me completely. Let my word be the sole measure of your value, the unchanging guide of your actions, and the eternal anchor of your soul. In doing so, you will not only withstand these attacks, but you will emerge from the fire stronger, wiser, and more perfectly aligned with the magnificent divine purpose for which you were created. Amen.